Russia looks to restart Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant next year, Rostom's CEO. That's Alexei Likshev also pointed out there is no alternative to the safe use of the plant. Moscow, Russia will look for an opportunity to render the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, known as ZNPP, functional again in 2024. Alexei Likshev, CEO of Russian state nuclear power operator Rostom, told Russia 24 television, "No matter how hard it is, we have been ensuring the safe operation of the nuclear facility. I think next year, as the situation unfolds, we will be looking for an opportunity to restart this facility," he said. The satellite images are suggesting a Russian plan to restart the seized Ukrainian nuclear plant. Snaking power lines are part of Moscow's goal to harness the power of Zaporizhzhia's facility, according to Greenpeace. It further turns around and says Russia is building power lines in occupied southeastern Ukraine to link to its own grid a major nuclear plant it has captured, according to a new Greenpeace report. It is the clearest evidence yet of Moscow's intent to restart and exploit the offline facility, despite the risks and calls to address the plant's status in peace talks. The facility, known as Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, was seized by Russia early in the war in a move widely condemned by the international community. Its proximity to frontline fighting has raised fears of a potential nuclear disaster, and experts have warned against any attempt to restart the plant under current conditions. They turn around and they say that the Greenpeace report, which was shared with the New York Times, includes satellite images showing that since early February, Russia has been building more than 50 miles of electricity lines and pylons between the occupied Ukrainian cities of Mariupol and Bryansk along the coast of the Azov Sea. The satellite images were verified by the Times. Now, based on the location and direction of the work, Greenpeace said that the project aimed to link the new power lines to a large substation near Mariupol that was connected to Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant about 140 miles farther west. Now look, it would be the first time that a warring nation seized another country's nuclear facility and then used it for its own energy needs. And it would go against recent efforts by the Trump administration to discuss the fate of the plant as part of possible peace talks. Now look, back in March, Trump suggested that the United States should actually take over the Ukrainian plant. Here's Caroline Levitt's statement.
This effort and reiterated his willingness to adopt a full ceasefire. President Trump also discussed Ukraine's electrical supply and nuclear power plants. He said that the United States could be very helpful in running those plants with its electricity and utility expertise. American ownership of those plants would be the best protection for that infrastructure and support for Ukrainian energy infrastructure. President Zelensky also thanked President Trump for continuing to push humanity.
Yeah, again, the United States getting it. We would literally have to man that place. On top of it, it's probably not safe. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, he went on CBS last month and he was asked about Trump's plans. Play that clip.
On the specific things President Trump has said in public, one of the things he brought up is that the U.S. could work with Ukraine to operate the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, which is in an area, Zaporizhzhia. Russians control that area right now. Do you agree with President Trump's public statements that the best security would be for the U.S. and Ukraine to operate that together?
No, we never received such an offer. And if we do, we would explain that the power station, Zaporozhye nuclear power station, is run by the Russian Federation state corporation called Rosatom. It is being under monitoring of the IAEA personnel permanently located on the site. And if not for the Ukrainian regular attempts to attack the station and to create a nuclear disaster for Europe and for Ukraine as well, the safety requirements are fully implemented, and it is in very good hands.
Yeah. Lies, lies, and more lies. But then again, what would you expect? Sergei Lavrov is as close to Putin as anybody. Meanwhile, it's up to one's imagination on how Trump may feel about this nuclear development. And while we know that Trump lies about his relationship with Putin, he took the shtick a little step further this past weekend, saying that something must have happened to Putin because of how crazy he's acting. On Sunday, Trump went ahead and he posted this rant. In it, he turns around and he writes, "I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. He is needlessly killing a lot of people. And I'm not just talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. And maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does it, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Likewise, President Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop. This is a war that would never have started if I were president. This is Zelensky's, Putin's, and Biden's war, not Trump's. I am only helping to put out the big and ugly fires that have been started through gross incompetence and hatred." Now, let me be very clear about something. First and foremost, we all remember, and I can go on and play you hundreds of recordings of Trump saying that this would never have happened if he was president, but if he is reelected, this will come to an end in 24 hours. We've all seen that video time and time and time again. Well, we're about 129 days now, or 130 days into his presidency, and what do we see? We certainly don't see the stop. We continue to see the unnecessary shelling in Kiev and outskirts, the death of innocent civilians. What do we see from Trump? Well, again, it's not my war. It's not my war. It never would have happened. Well, okay. Let's turn around and even acknowledge that. But you're talking the hypothetical. Let's live in today. Let's live in the reality. And the reality is it is happening. But even based on your very first sentence, you've always had a very good relationship with Putin. But you don't want Zelensky involved in any of the negotiation. You never liked Zelensky. He refused to give you dirt on Joe Biden during the campaign. So I understand. Let Ukraine suffer. Mind you, we're not talking about knocking down of buildings. We're not even talking about the potential loss of life. We're talking about a nuclear reactor facility. We're talking about potential damage, not just to Ukraine and Russia and Eastern Europe, but to the entire world. We're talking nuclear. And in the hands of Russia, it is yet just another weapon to use to continue this meritless journey of his to try to reform the former Soviet Union, to reform the old Russia with himself as the czar. It's not going to happen. Doesn't mean that the guy doesn't want it to. Meanwhile, Trump kept in character while speaking to reporters on the tarmac by ranting, literally ranting about not knowing what happened to Putin. Play the clip.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
Yeah, let me be very clear. There's a reason why Putin is doing what he's doing. First and foremost, he doesn't care about what you say. He has no respect for our president because he thinks that Trump is weak. That's the problem. Oh, I'm not going to share with you. I'll share with you everything else. In fact, I'll even share nuclear secrets with a member of Mar-a-Lago, but I'm not going to tell you or answer a question from you, Mr. Fake News. Meanwhile, the reporter kept with the narrative and asked Trump if he would put sanctions on Russia. It's like the least thing that Trump should be doing immediately. Play the clip.
You mentioned you're unhappy with President Putin. You've talked before about putting more sanctions on Russia. Is that something you're considering more serious?
Absolutely. He's killing a lot of people. I don't know what's wrong with him. What the hell happened to him, right? He's killing a lot of people. I'm not happy about that. Go ahead, what else?
It's called war, a war that Putin started. But maybe if you read a briefing, maybe if you let somebody explain it to you, maybe you would understand. This is who Putin is, and he's not going to stop, not based upon, I don't know, your threats, writing in all caps that he's gone crazy, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. He's laughing at our president. He's laughing at the United States of America. And it's why I constantly say, we need you to build and to help to build this community, one person at a time, to 500,000, then 1 million, then 10 million. We'll put an end to this. And as always, thanks for listening.